Alex Chavalowski for the people.
Good morning, Rob Gico on behalf of Jeremy Shu. Jeremy, would you state your name for the record?
My name is Jeremy Shu. All right. And it's date and time set for 2 preliminary examinations. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, it's my understanding there's 3 officers involved here. I would ask that 2 of them be sequestered.
Well, Judge, there's 2 on one case and 1 on the other. So they're sequestered at the moment.
Okay. I'll order them sequestered, but an officer that's in charge of the case may remain in the courtroom to assist the prosecutor. All right. Which one? Call you first.
May I speak?
I don't know what you're going to speak about, but if your counsel's, I think, indicating to you that you shouldn't say anything, but
I just got up here. I haven't had a chance to speak. There's a couple issues that I noticed from the records that I received, that some of the records are not,
that what?
some of the records are not complete. And I mentioned that, and I don't know if we got the complete record. So my whole thing is, I don't know if we can go forward today because of the fact that discovery is not complete. So I think that,
Is you talking about the thumb injury?
yes.
Your Honor, I did meet Mr. Shu the other day. Spoke extensively. We do have the medical records regarding the fractured rib. The other injury to the officer was a hyperextended thumb. I'm ready to proceed on that matter, Your Honor. I mean, the report says it was a hyperextended thumb, Your Honor. I'm not sure how much medical record would be there. I explained that to Mr. Shu. I'm ready to proceed.
If there's a conflict, then I guess there's a conflict of interest between me and Mr. Kilowog. And I would like to relieve him as my counsel.
Okay. That's denied. Is there, so I'm assuming what's alleged is one of the injuries to the officers a hyperextended thumb.
Correct.
Is there medical involved? I mean, I'm not asking you. Back in the day, if I had a hyperextended thumb, I just popped it back in and kept going. So I don't know.
Judge, the report did reflect that our deputy was treated at Trinity Health. And, you know, Ann Arbor, Mr. Kilowog has all the information that we have, to my knowledge. I believe the officer can testify to what medical attention he received.
Mr. Kilowog.
Judge, this is my client. If he says he needs those medicals, Your Honor, if he wants to adjourn this matter, I'm willing to adjourn it. I'm also ready and willing to proceed, Your Honor, on this matter.
If the defense is asking for an adjournment, Judge, we don't have an objection.
Well, all right. That's on which case?
That's with Officer Gillette.
That is on the 141 case. 0141.
All right. Is there a reason then, if that's the case, is there a reason I can't proceed on the other case?
No, Your Honor.
Not that I know of.
All right, then what I will do on the 141 case says stay before me. Yes, no. There's no way I'm gonna be able to fit that in that day. Whatever. So the 141 case will be adjourned. So because, or the preliminary examination in person. This is gonna delay his matter quite a bit. I think he's going anywhere to September 26th,
Your Honor,
2023. 9 AM in person, yes.
On that case, my client would ask me if I would address bond, Your Honor. I believe he can be gainfully employed. He has a place to live, Your Honor. I don't believe he would be a threat to society. It seems like the jail is where he gets the most trouble. He said, I would ask the court to please consider a bond in that issue.
I'm not going to at this time. I mean,
I understand, Your Honor. He asked me,
no, I know, but I'm going to continue his bond. They've asked for an adjournment. You want the medical? I'm giving him that, but I'm not changing his bond because of that. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
so the bond on that matter will continue. All right, you may call your witness on the case ending in 961.
Getting him, it would be Sergeant Merritt, Judge.
Sir, please come forward to be sworn. Am I doing it? Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat. Upon having a seat, please state and spell your name for the record.
CODERRITT.
You may inquire.
Thank you. Mr. Merritt, how are you employed?
I'm a sergeant at Washington County Sheriff's Department Corrections Division.
All right. And back on September 29th, 2022, were you a sergeant?
No, I was still a deputy at that time.
Okay. And were you employed that day by the Washington County Sheriff's Department?
Yes, I was.
And do you recall if you were working?
Yes, I was.
At about 11:14 a.m. on September 29th, 2022, did something happen at the jail?
Yeah.
Okay. And I jumped ahead of myself. As a corrections officer, do you typically work at the Washington County Jail?
Yes, sir.
Where's that located?
2201 Hoffman Cross.
Is that in this, and that is in the Washington County, Michigan?
Yes, sir.
All right. So at 11:15 a.m. that day, did something happen that brings you to court today?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
The inmate was barricaded in an interview room,
Okay.
a tablet, they had internet access. I was told we need to get in there and get that tablet back.
And who was that inmate?
Mr. Shue, Aaron Shue.
Is he in the courtroom today?
Yes,
Can you point him out and describe what he's wearing for us, please?
right over here in an orange jumpsuit.
Thank you. Ask record reflect ID.
Record shows shall reflect without objection.
Thank you. So you were given orders to retrieve this tablet,
Yes, I was.
and how did you attempt to retrieve the tablet?
Yes.
How'd you do that?
First, I attempted to have a conversation with him multiple times to see if he would give me the tablet back. I was told he would not. He would not open the door at that time.
Who told you that?
Mr. Shue gave me the direct verbal. He would not open the door. He would not open that door for us.
Okay. At some point, was there an opportunity you saw to try to open the door forcefully?
Yes, sir.
And is that something that you have to do from time to time with inmates?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you take action to try to forcefully open the door?
Yes, sir.
How did you do that?
He adjusted in the chair. My key was already locked. I keyed the door to open it, and as he adjusted, I pushed the door
Okay. And how far did you get the door open?
open. Approximately 12 to 18 inches.
Were you able to get into the cell at that time?
The interview room, yes.
Or interview room, I'm sorry.
Yes.
And how far into that interview room did you get?
I got about half my body in.
And then what happened?
The door shut on me.
How did the door shut on you?
From pressure from the Shue pushing back on the other side.
Did you see him do this?
Yes.
Okay, how was he pushing back?
He had his knees propped up on the door. He was sitting in a gray plastic chair. Behind that chair was a round table that was braced up against the wall.
And now, did anything happen to you when this door got closed on you?
I sticks to rip.
Okay, how did you do that?
Between the door pushing against me and the door frame. Just what he did.
So, okay, so you got stuck.
Yeah.
You got stuck
between the door and the door frame.
All right. Did you have to go to the hospital for that?
Yes, I did go to the hospital.
And is that where you found out that you had a broken rib?
Yes, sir.
What were you wearing that day?
Uniform.
Basically what you're wearing today? Okay. And did you otherwise make yourself known that you're one of the deputies at the jail or corrections officers?
What do you mean by that?
Did you tell them or?
I mean, Uniform, you knew who I was.
Okay. Did you have some sort of rapport with Mr. Shu as best you could?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Nothing further.
Cross-examination.
Yes. Officer Merritt, is there a procedure for cell extraction? And what is that procedure?
We attempted to de-escalate that situation before having to use force. If that's not progressing into a manner where forces or it's not leading up to not force being used, then force would be called forth on that point.
You used the word "we." Were there more than one officers there?
Yes,
Okay. And as part of the cell extraction procedure, is that you wear some kind of protective clothing?
depending on depending on the extraction.
Okay, this time,
If it's combative extraction, yes, we would.
okay, were you wearing that?
No, I was not.
Okay, would you consider this a bad extraction?
Combative extraction?
I'm sorry, combative.
No, I would not.
Okay, tell me what excuse me, tell me what Jeremy was doing at the time.
He was sitting in a gray chair, had a tablet he was typing on, and had his legs pressed up against the door.
So basically he wasn't letting you in the door,
No, he wasn't letting me in the door.
and you tried to talk him,
Yep.
and he still refused.
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't that be considered a combative?
He still wasn't displaying force. He wasn't threatening to harm me.
Okay, so, but his feet were against the door, preventing you from getting in the door. And again, I don't know your procedures and I'm not criticizing it, but when, in hindsight, wouldn't it have been better to wear some type of protective vest that may have prevented this rib fracture?
We also have to take time into consideration in that event because he has something that has access to the outside world. He has the internet right there. So getting that device, there wasn't time for that.
Okay,
That was a call that they made to open the door.
was that your call to
No,
make?
it was not my call.
Who made the call?
The duty sergeant at the time, Sergeant Holman.
Holman? And did you want to proceed with this charge?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
All right, and so you're trying to push into the door, correct? Are there two or three officers behind you pushing on you?
There was an officer to push on the other side of the door, on one side of the door with me.
Okay, so it's not only you pushing inside the door, it's officers behind you pushing you, correct? Is that a fair statement?
There's an officer pushing with me.
Okay, so they were using force to push you through the door, correct?
No, he was not pushing on me, he was pushing the door.
He was pushing the door?
Yes.
Okay, and that pushing opened the door somewhat?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you, was there any concern on your part when you just stuck half of your body in the door?
Not at that point, no.
But the door then closed on you, correct? And what kind of upper body were you wearing that day?
The uniform.
Just a uniform?
No vest, just the uniform.
Okay, and so how long was that door pressed against your chest or your side?
I don't honestly know how long it was. I don't think it was very long.
Did you know when your rib was fractured, did you know at that time that that's what happened?
No.
Okay, so you didn't feel any pain?
Right when it happened, no, sir.
Okay, so eventually the door was open, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you even talked to Jeremy afterwards?
Sir.
And when is it when you knew that you had a fractured rib?
After going and conducting an encounter, he walking back into the body.
Okay, and you had to get medical treatment for that?
Yes, sir.
And it was confirmed that you had a fractured rib?
Yes, sir.
Did you have to take time off for work?
I did take a couple days off of work, yes.
Okay, and is there any lasting injury or anything?
No, not right now.
Okay. May I have one moment with my client?
Do you want me to say yes? You're going to talk to me, I can't.
You might want to mute the microphone in front of you.
Yes. Is it possible that we can?
No, they're going to stay right there because you don't know how to act sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Did you want the microphone muted? Because it's not. You're going to have to do it yourself. I don't do that. It's got to be green. You got to hold it down. Thank you.
Jeremy, okay, tell me.
Sir, were the other officers ordered out of the cell? once the situation was at hand?
Yes.
But you stayed?
I stayed and Sergeant Holmes stayed.
Okay, and what was the purpose of staying?
Just stayed behind.
Yeah, I assume you stayed in the same room with Jeremy?
Yeah, in the room.
And-
I stood by with Sergeant Holmes.
Did you discuss anything with him or talk to him?
He was just emotional. And he just asked if he could have a minute.
Okay, and after that, did he give you any problems after that? Okay, is there I guess, is there a reason why you stayed in the room that after that situation? I mean, what was the purpose of staying in the room?
I was told to stay there by the sergeant.
Okay. Excuse me, Your Honor. Your report is, if you know this, your report is the only report that that describes your injury.
Okay.
Did any of the other officers know you had been injured at the time?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, all right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Any redirect?
Mr. Killowald asked about your injuries. You did have to go to the hospital,
Yes, sir.
and you did receive a prescription for some medication for your injuries. Thank you. Nothing further.
All right. You may step down. Thank you, sir.
May I have a follow-up question? I'm just curious. When you went to the hospital, how long were you at the hospital for?
I didn't get back to the jail till approximately 2,300 hours.
And just very briefly, what kind of medical treatment was there any medical treatment they could give you for a fractured rib or?
They gave me some medication and then just rest.
Okay, and so you didn't spend an overnight or anything like that? All right, and how long do you think you were at the hospital?
6 to 7 hours.
All right, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing further.
You may step down now. Thank you, sir. Any additional witnesses for the people?
No.
Any witnesses for the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Do I have a motion?
Move find over count one.
Any response?
Judge, I have to argue on behalf of my client that you heard that there's a procedure for cell extraction. With all due respect to the officers, this was a combative situation. I don't know what would be a combative situation if this wasn't. If proper gear had been worn, this injury may or may not have occurred. And again, though, I don't want to say there was violation of cell extraction, but it appears though that that's what it was, Your Honor.
Hold on. That's your argument?
So far, yes.
Because if he had not put his feet against the door and blocked coming in or had complied with the officer's order, there's no need even for any type of cell extraction, combative or not. Right?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead with your argument.
Well, I'll just end it by saying I think there was a violation of policy as to cell extraction that caused the injury, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm asking matter to be dismissed.
Your Honor, may I speak to Mr. Killowald?
Can you what?
Go ahead.
I have no further arguments.
All right. In this matter, what is very clear regarding the particular elements of the offense is that, first of all, there's not an issue as to the injury being caused to the sergeant. Also, that he was acting in lawful duties, asked to take something from the defendant. Defendant did not comply with that, attempted to get it, and properly so. He went into the unit. It is the action, so that this record is very clear. It is not any of the actions of the sergeant in terms of what he did to have this defendant comply with an order. everything that started down that path was caused from this defendant and the actions that he took, ultimately causing injury to the sergeant. So for those reasons, and examining the entire record and testimony, the court would find that the people have sustained their burden and would bind the defendant over to stand charges on resisting and obstructing an officer causing injury.
Your Honor, with respect to the information waived at reading, my client would stand mute.
Defendant having waived reading, standing mute, the court will enter a not guilty plea. Pre-trial in this matter will be
October 4th at 1:30, Judge Conlon.
October 4th, 2023, 1:30 before Judge Conlon. Bond on this matter will continue. Thank you.
Get through today's hearing. Wait, officer, hold on a sec.
What's wrong?
Some of the other meetings.
Oh, okay, fine. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. See you in a month and a half.
Pardon me? I like to sign one. Probably some other attorney will be doing it, but I have to do it.
Nope, you're stuck.
Thanks, Judge. Appreciate it.
Just now, I'm just saying. I think you two get along fabulously.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Mr. Kilowald, I mean this with all due respect to you. Another fine job you've done.
Thanks, Judge. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.